On this episode of Polishing Turds with Mike, we're going to do some Tanabe 3-piece wheel faces. I'm going to show you the proper way to tape them. We're doing these wheels in Goldtastic. It's a prismatic color, requires a clear. You're going to get to see all that. So let's go. All right, guys, here we have a Tanabe 3-piece wheel face. We're going to be powder coating this in Goldtastic. Of course, I already said that in the intro. With a clear, and there are some areas on a 3-piece wheel that you cannot powder coat. Let me show you that. It's going to be this face here, all the way around this flat face, and this vertical face. This indexes a wheel in the hoops, and this needs to have no powder on it so that it runs true and concentric with the rest of the drums, actually. The hoops, they call them. As you see, they are Tanabe Speedstar. All right, guys, here we go. We're gonna start masking this wheel. One of the things that I want to go over with you, a lot of people have trouble with the tape coming off when it goes in the oven. Okay, let me tell you a little trick that helps that a lot, okay? You take some of the tape, these are tapings from the last one, right? Sticky. And I just don't put a lot of pressure. You just rub it like you're tack ragging, like you would be tack ragging a vehicle or a paint job, you know, a hood or a fender. Oh man, what's that? Oh, could that be why your tape's not sticking? This wheel was blasted, blown off, the whole 9 yards, clean, but you have some level of poo on the surface. And I found that tack ragging them or tacking them like I do here, it just helps. I mean, you're sticking to the metal instead of the dirt on the metal. I mean, look at it. It's terrible. But that's how it is. So, so that was used tape. And then I'm going to take a piece of this here tape, a new piece, and I just kind of go around and kind of get it more in the corner. And do it again over here. Look. All right. So, a lot of you are not going to have a custom slitter, okay? I slit this tape to be exactly that width, okay? That cuts the tape. You're just going to do this with a slightly wider tape and then trim it off, okay? I just happen to be able to slit stuff exactly this width or whatever width I need it. So I buy tape in 6 or 8 inch rolls and I slit it for whatever width I need it. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to do this vertical edge. And how we're going to do that is just like you'd think. On this face, as you lay it down, so that it's not sticking up. Being that I have my tape exactly the right width already, and then what I do is when I have it like that, I take the edges of my fingernails and I just rub it so it stays there a minute. All right, then you just drag out some more and keep going right around it. I'm not gonna record the whole masking process. This takes about 20 minutes to mask this wheel. And keep that in mind when somebody brings in 3-piece wheel faces or whatever and you quote them, there's about an hour in masking these 4 pieces. So maybe a little more than an hour. You want to make sure you rub the edge of that tape right on that face as you lay it down so that you're trying to get the tape all the way in the corner. That's what's important. Or even if it'll bend a little bit up onto this face, that's good too. All right, we're all the way around. I'm going to lay it back down. You see, I like to do this on foam. I mean, the table's wood, but what I'm worried about, the reason I have it on here is because you got to remember this is blasted. It's like a file. It's a little bit of a rough surface. If I drag it around on the wood, there's a finish on this wood. What if I drag the finish off into the blast profile and it causes problems? I don't want problems, especially when you have to spend this long masking each one. Could you imagine if you did this and screwed it up and then you had to remask it? Oh, come on now. You don't want to do that. All right, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come around this side so you can really see what I'm doing. So now what we're gonna do is we're going to take the red tape. And this is where I'm not going to show you all this. I'm going to do this like 3 or 4 times, and I'm going to show you how to do it. And then we're going to move maybe to time lapse or something. Maybe not even time lapse. I'll just finish it and show you what it looks like. All right, so what we're going to do, take about that much tape. Always, always, always use your teeth to cut it. Okay. Now I like to have the wheel like to the edge a little bit. I'll move your over here. And what we're going to do is we're going to bend this edge of the tape up on the green. Okay. A little bit. So I'm going to start up here. I'm going to bend it. See how the tape bent up on it? I'm going to take my finger, my nail, and kind of push it around in there. And once you get it pushed down good and you're happy with it, you're going to cut it off. One of the secrets of cutting this tape is when you touch the tape, be pulling the blade down a little, okay? So as I come up to the tape, I'm gonna go downward at an angle and start cutting the tape, and then you can just whoop right through it, right? I'm gonna take that and make a little stack. Well, the reason I was making a stack is so the next one I could tack rag, but this is the last one. So we're not gonna need it again. Same thing. We're gonna ramp it, and you're trying to cover everything in the corner. And the reason we want to ramp, because I don't want to leave any powder in that corner. That's going to cause issues. So we're going to ramp it. Push it down. Same thing. Be moving the blade down as you introduce, and it won't push the tape. Well, when I say down, you want to move it towards a part. So if I was cutting this out, I want to be pushing down as I start. If you're not already using X-Acto knife blades to tape, and you're using those stupid, what are they, utility knife blades? Stop it, just stop it. Okay, go to your local hobby shop, get yourself a pack of blades that come in packs of 100. If you don't have a good local hobby shop around you, there's one in Orlando called Graves Hobbies. He'll ship them to you. You can just call and order them, or go online and order them. They have a website. They're number 11 X-Acto knife blades. And they're not made by X-Acto, and that's why they're about $13 for 100 of them. And I go there and buy, I don't know, 50, 60 bucks worth and split it between my hobby box and my shop. You see the idea here. This is what we're doing. We're just gonna go around and always cut it with your teeth. You know, that's just like your mom taught you. You know, run with the scissors, cut your tape with the teeth. You know, what else is there? I don't know, there's a lot of them out there. Nice and clean, no jaggedness, clean, smooth, you know, that's what you want. You don't want the tape to hang over. If the tape hangs over, the powder will bridge it and make a flashing there. You don't want that. You want everything to be smooth. All right, that'll be it for this part of the job. I'm gonna finish the taping off camera, and I'll show you what it looks like when it's done, but it's not gonna be a whole lot different than what you see here, except for this is gonna be cut out. It's gonna be red all the way around. You know, use your imagination, but I'll show it to you anyway. All righty, we'll be right back. One other thing I wanted to show you. You see how this tape is at an angle and I'm cutting like this? Well, when I want to start, I want to lift the tape up, right? Let me show you how to fix that problem. You just take your knife and make a little square cut, right? And then your knife will start like a champ against that square cut. See that? All right. Makes it easier. All right, we got it all taped up here. I didn't cut that part out over there yet around the valve stem, but I was gonna show you this, okay? Let me turn this thing up right. You see how the red tape ramps up on the green tape? See that? And it's covering that corner up. Okay, that's what we're looking for. That whole corner is covered, all right? So that's what when I say I want to bend the tape, I'm bending it up onto, you know what I'm saying? So that'll get your corner sealed good, so that when you pull your tape, you don't have powder in the very corners, because it's ramped up. There's actually 2 layers of tape there. All righty, just wanted to show you that. So now what we're going to do is, guess what? We're powder coating them, because the other ones are hanging over there. And there's one hanging over there. There's 3 actually. See, 1, 2, 3. All right, 4. That's how many we need. All right, good stuff. We'll be back at you here in 1 second with the powder coating process. Dang, guys, I forgot to record the shooting of the base. This is the second coat, as you can see. You can see some shiny on the top of this. I dumbed out, man. I taped these yesterday and then I come in today and I forgot to record it. So I've already got one coat on these and I shot these cold. There's too many holes in them. See all the bolt holes around the edges? Man, I'm gonna wind up globbing it up around those holes if I try to shoot it hot. So I elected to shoot it cold, and this is what I did. Here's the process for it to come out kind of like you shot it hot. So I shot it cold, of course, like I told you, and I put them in the oven and only got them up to about 250-ish degrees. They were actually in the 240s is where they were at. So I pulled them up to 240 and pulled them out, okay? They were not smooth. They were just melted. They weren't even flowed, okay? The other set that I put the second coat on took 15 minutes to flow out. They were only in there for 8 minutes the first time, okay? Pulled them out. That's important. It's important that you don't flow them the first coat all the way out, okay? Then I let them completely cool. I brought them back in. I lowered my KV from 50 to 35 and I reshot them all. There you go. I tried to get away with doing one coat, but it would not go down in the lug holes to my liking. So here we are with the second coat. And I'm gonna double check the lug holes real quick. Do a little pass around there. That's it. Now these get to go in the oven for 15 minutes. They'll flow out. They'll be pretty darn smooth. We're gonna let them completely cool and then we're gonna clear them. Man, I'm sorry I forgot to shoot the video on the base coat and the doubling. I mean, you got to see a second of it. Actually, this will probably be the best video there is because it'll be less boring. Jeez. All right, so we're gonna throw these in the oven and we'll turn the camera back on when we go to clear it if I'm not stupid, which we already all know the answer to that based on previous activity. All right, guys, we're back with the clear. As you can see here, I'm gonna bring you on in here real quick while we're goofing around. Show you do you see how smooth that is? I mean, that's about as smooth as you're gonna get a base. How you get it that smooth is that you put your first coat on, then you put it in the oven and you only melt it. You melt in a tiny bit of flow, if any, okay? It'll look rough and kind of garbagey when it comes out. Don't even bother with that. It's just like doing the hot coat. Don't even look at it. All right, let it completely cool, bring it back in, put your second coat on, and then you put it in the oven and you bring it up to 340 to 350. And this is what you get. They're about that smooth. So now what we're gonna do is put the clear on. I guess I'm gonna start over here since I'm over here. And the same thing, the old marshmallow. I'd put a little bit more powder in the bucket. The top's almost done. And that's important with clear, like you've heard me say a million times, to maintain your gun distance. Don't try to get too close to it. It's not gonna help you. All right, beautimous. All right, we're gonna go to the second one. Rinse and repeat. It is, this is Goldtastic is the name of the color. And I've had problems with this color in the past, just to tell you. Me and this color wouldn't used to be friends at all. Not even a little bit. I had a very hard time in the past getting it to flow properly. And I stumbled on some different gun settings while working with another powder that I couldn't get to flow. And it changed the way I set the gun up, which is weird because I've been setting the gun up the same way for the settings on the gun for, sheesh, probably 8 or 9 years since I got that gun. So sometimes you got to be flexible. You got to look for something. And I think I was watching, I don't know, I was watching something and I heard a guy say something and it kind of stuck in my mind about gun settings and about basically what he was saying was that the auxiliary air should always be higher in flow than the powder air that's moving the powder. And I was like, huh, mine's not like that. So I didn't think much of it. And then one day I was working with a material that wanted to be a wiener, and I was just really struggling with it. And for some reason that came to mind, and I was like, well, let me try something here. And it just made the cloud so much better. I think we're just about done with the clear. I guess we'll do another bring you in and let you look at what it looks like with the fluff on it. Marshmallow fluff. Pretty good. Nice and even. Looks like it's down in the lug holes pretty good. I might go around them one more again. I'm pushing my luck though. Oh yeah, they're gonna be nice. I'm gonna make one more quick little pass over them, around the holes a little bit. And I think I'm gonna be happy with them. And always run your gun out here first and then come in. Because what happens is it spits a nice chunk of powder on there and screws up your finish. You know, what if it surges or coughs or whatever? Especially important when you're shooting high. All right, so we got to see it all. It looks pretty good. We're gonna go in the oven with it, and we're gonna call this done. So we're gonna put these in the oven. They're gonna be in there. It took 15 minutes just to get them to 340. So they're gonna be in there probably 17 plus 18, whatever it is. The cure on the clear is 375 for 18 minutes. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna lower the oven temp to 375, or we're gonna put it in there for the allotted time, and we're gonna be done. So we'll come back and show you what they look like when they're done, do some glamour shots. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Sorry about screwing this video up. You didn't get to see much of the base being shot, but it is what it is, I guess. That's what happens when you watch an idiot, you know? Hi, it's me. I'm the idiot. All right, okay. We'll see.